Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to the test. Welcome to part 1 of the Tier 5 Battleship Armor Modeling and Citadel Breakdown series. In this series, I plan on providing an in-depth look at each Tier 5 battleship's armor. Specifically, I will point out the ship's Citadel locations, and I will conduct tests inside of a training room session to see exactly how the ship's armor holds up against guns at its tier and one tier higher. Now, I've already done this for the Tier 6 battleships, and if you're interested in seeing that, please click the annotation above. Inside the port screen, Wargaming provides armor thickness information, but those stats rarely provide a good picture. Some of the armor overlaps, and some of the armor is irrelevant. For example, who cares about the forward and aft ends of a battleship? If you hit any battleship in the game in that location, it's going to be a guaranteed overpin. What is the most important is knowing where the weakness of an enemy ship is and if your guns can get to it. The biggest weakness for the New York can be found inside the red box here. This is where the ship's engine room and powder magazines are located. If you're shooting armor-piercing rounds and it hits those locations, that's where you're going to maximize the most damage on that enemy battleship. For the first test, both the enemy ship and myself are parallel to each other, and I'm aiming for the boiler room. This should be the easiest chance to land a Citadel hit. When RNG permits and my shells land in the right place, it ends up being SIDS. With the same angle, the front and the back turrets are just as susceptible. For the next test, I'm at a 90-degree angle and the enemy battleship is at a 35-degree angle. This angle increases the enemy's armor, but as you can see, the shots still penetrate the Citadel area. So even angling in this ship, you're still going to get Citadel. So here's another test, just to see if this ship has any reliable armor whatsoever. My ship is at a 35-degree angle, and I'm aiming at a very angled boiler room. If this shot penetrates and scores a Citadel, well, I give up. Ultimately, at 35-degree angle, you would not want to be taking this shot. You would want to be shooting right underneath the turrets, because as you just saw, it was Citadel City. Being that the New York is so slow compared to the Kongo, I would have definitely thought that this thing was going to be an armored beast that could just bounce shots left and right. But this thing is just a piece of Swiss cheese. Now, I'm shooting at the ship the Kongo, a 14-inch gun. I assume that the penetration on the Kongo is the same as the penetration on the New York. For the third and final test using the Kongo's guns, I'm at a 90-degree angle and the enemy ship is at a 0-degree angle. I conducted this test 3 times, and all 3 times I scored 1 Citadel for every 4 turrets fired. So what does all this tell us? It tells us that when the New York is getting shot by 14-inch guns, it will be Citadel'd when parallel, when at a 35-degree angle, and when at a 0-degree angle. Basically, this ship has no viable armor against a ship at its tier. So originally I wanted to test this ship against 16-inch guns, but there's no point to that. So I will see how it fares against 12-inch guns. The first tests with the 12-inch guns were conducted with both me and the enemy parallel to each other. As expected, the 12-inch guns had no problem scoring Citadel hits in the boiler room or underneath the turret. Now, to be honest, I expected this. I think that the only true difference that we're going to see with the 12-inch shell is when the Wyoming is at a 0-degree angle or at a 35-degree angle. Just on a side note, the Wyoming did tend to have a tighter spread when it was shooting versus the Tier 5 Kongo. For me, this part right here was the biggest test of this video. I was eager to see how the New York did against the 12-inch guns while angled. If the New York was a sit box against a 12-inch round while angled, then my opinion of the ship was going to be lowered even further. But from the looks of it, the New York is able to repel firepower of this magnitude. It's doing a good job preventing those 12-inch rounds from getting into the Citadel area. So against the Mikasa, South Carolina, Kawachi, Isujichi, Wyoming, Arkansas Beta, and the Imperator Nikolai, this ship has decent armor. Against anything with a 14-inch gun or larger though, which is the Miyogi, New York, Kongo, New Mexico, Warspite, Colorado, Fuso, and the Nagato, this ship is chop liver. Which, to be honest, because this ship is so slow, I didn't think it would be that squishy. Kongo, yes. New York, no, I thought this thing was going to be able to take a hit. When doing the 0-degree test, this ship did fare better against the 12-inch rounds. When I did this test before with the 14-inch rounds, there was a Citadel hit about once every 8 shots. When using the 12-inch rounds, however, there was a Citadel hit only once out of every 24 shots. So it is possible to Citadel from this angle using the 12-inch gun, however, it did seem a lot less likely to get through. All in all, if you have a 12-inch gun, don't take a shot at this ship while angled. If you can, hold your shot and wait for a better angle. It's tough to give an opinion on this ship without me doing the same test on the Kongo and seeing what that's like. But honestly, even if the Kongo cannot stop a 14-inch round, neither can the New Mexico, and at least the Kongo is faster and it has better range. Overall, I was pretty disappointed in the New York. I thought that it was going to be a tougher ship before I did all of these training room sessions. Even when you're the top tier ship, you can still be easily crushed, which is somewhat disappointing. As I've stated before, I'm looking to get a Kongo video out here shortly as well. I'm going to be very interested to see what that armor does against the 12-inch rounds and the 14-inch rounds. I doubt that it's going to be able to hold anything back from a 16-inch gun. But shoot, who knows, this video was full of surprises for me. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please click the like button. And if you're interested in receiving updates as new videos are posted to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. I'm generally divisioned up with Steel Reserve. Steel Reserve has his own YouTube channel with a very unique series that I enjoy titled History in Combat. I definitely recommend stopping by his channel and checking those videos out. And as always, thanks for watching the test.